Today we shall look into few things related to day two questions in Pyspark challenge. So here there is some data where we have some 5 rows and there are some columns, names which are present. So to create a data frame, let us create the variable df. You can give any name. I'll write df equal to create a data frame. We can write start dot right create data frame, and inside that you can mention data. So if at all you give any other name, you can mention that. Otherwise, what you can do, you can enter a comma and you can mention the respective columns which you have defined. So here I have defined the columns ID, name, department, and salary. So in order to execute the data frame, you can see that the data frame is created. In order to show that, you can try to show using that show method, right? You can write df.show. So you can see here, you are able to see this small table with all the respective 4 columns. So here we have certain problems. So the first problem is, if we need to get employees who earn more than $4,000, right? So in order to find it out, we shall define, one another variable, right? So what we can do, we can try to write something called, right, some high salary. Okay, we can write something like that. High salary is equal to df dot. Let us filter the data. Okay, so we can use df dot filter. We can write df dot salary is greater than 4,000, right? So in order to see that respective data, what we can do, we can try to execute the data frame. Otherwise, in order to execute in the same cell also, you can try to write pay underscore salary dot show, right? So this is your auto thing which it works. You can write high salary dot show. Here you are able to see this 4,000, like all the values in the salary column is above 4,000. Right. To filter the data, what we can use, we can write df dot filter, and in the respective column we can use df dot salary greater than 4,000. Right. Suppose that you have to count the number of employees in each department. So what we can do here, if it is SQL, you'll be doing the group by department, right? So here also it is the same. So for example, if I write any variable called department count, it is equal to, I'll use df dot group by, right? I can use group by. I can mention this particular column, which is called department column, right? In order to count it, what I can use is a particular dot count. See, when you use that group by, it has that particular attribute which is count. Or else count is, by default you can understand it is an action, right? So you can use it here dot count, or you can use it in another variable also, not a problem. But here, in order to show the output, you can write df underscore count dot show, and you can try to execute it. Here you can see in the sales department we have 2 rows, HR department 1 row, and IT department 2 rows. So what did I do? Simply data frame dot group by and dot count. We can get all the number of employees in that respective department. So in the third problem, we have a bonus, right? We have to create a bonus column. Assuming that we are trying to calculate 10% of salary as a bonus. Okay. So here what I'll do, I'll try to create a column df underscore something called with bonus. Okay. So if I try to write equal to, I'll write df dot with column, and the column name is, you can create the bonus value, comma, what is the value? You can write simply df dot salary multiplied by, you can write 0.1, right, or 10%. You can try to write accordingly. Close the parenthesis, and here you can write df with bonus dot show. You can try to execute. So here if you see this, we have respective bonus values, which is 10% of the salary, which is provided. Suppose that you want to use that, column function, call function, what you can do, you can define that particular using the Pyspark.sql.functions. Right. For example, you can write from Pyspark.sql.functions, you need to import something called call. So instead of writing df.salary, what you can do, you can try to mention call of this particular salary column it will mention, right? So when you mention that salary column, automatically it will pick that salary column from your data. If you execute, you'll be able to see that same output just like previously. Okay, so I hope it is understandable. What did I do? With column will give you a new column. Bonus is the column name. And we are multiplying the salary column into zero point 0.1, which is 10% of the data. Okay, so this is our output. In the next problem, we have something where we have to sort the employees' data by salary in descending order. Okay, to sort the data, we can write something like sorted underscore data frame, right? You can give any name. You can use this particular function called order by. The order by function, what it does, it will try to order by based upon the column that you provide. Suppose I want to mention this column function, right? I can mention salary. Okay, so if you mention by default, okay, if you simply order by default without mentioning anything, let us see what would be the output, right? And I simply sorted df dot show. If I execute it, you see here what is happening. Here by default it is in the ascending order. If you want in descending order, you can write column of salary dot DESC, which is in descending order. If you execute it, now you see you are able to see the data in the descending order in the salary column. Right. This is how you can try to use the order by with the data frame. Okay, let us come to the next problem. We have something called find maximum salary per department. So in order to find maximum salary, what we can do, we can try to use, we use that max function. So to bring the max function, I'll use from Pyspark dot SQL dot functions import max function. Okay, so let us give some name. Suppose maximum of salary of department. I can create that particular group by, right? df dot group by. What do I need to use group by? I can take this department, right? Group by of department. We need to get the maximum salary, right? So what I'll write? I can write dot aggregation. Okay. So where I have imported the maximum function, right? I can write maximum of salary, right? We need it in descending order, right? Or else we'll see how it works. We'll get that maximum, right? Each department. So simply you can write it to keep it till here. If at all you need to rename it, inside that itself you can rename. To rename what they use dot alias, and you can mention something like maximum salary column, right? This is your column name. So I hope it is sufficient. You can try to write max underscore salary underscore department dot show. So what did we do? Simply group by, and based upon maximum function, we are able to bring that maximum salary here. Right. So this is how you'll be able to find out the group by and do the aggregation of maximum. If you want to use any other aggregation functions also, you can use accordingly. The importance of function is you need to, like, if at all you don't import it, if at all and you use it in the data frames, it will not work. Okay. I hope it is understandable. This is all for today, and we shall meet in the next video. Thank you, everyone.